Okay, so I want y'all to actually picture this, because when I first understood this, it absolutely blew my mind. We've all heard these verses be used to just say, hey, don't fornicate, because fornicating is bad. We've heard these verses be used to say, you're going to get a soul tie, or you're going to get a spirit spouse. Listen, remember, truth is not a matter of right and wrong. Truth is a matter of life and death, because his word is spirit. His word is life. If we refuse his word whenever it is sowed into our hearts, then we will not bear fruit. So now imagine a Christian today who claims they're a believer, but they consistently on a regular basis go to a satanic temple, and they have prostitution in that temple. And this man sleeps with the prostitutes in that temple on a regular basis, like this is just an absolutely normal thing. What would you think of that person? How would this problem be solved in the church today? How would this problem be solved in your type of ministry, your church, your pastor, by whoever you follow online? How would this problem be solved? Well, this is how Paul solved the problem. They would say, all things are lawful for me, because that's what they thought. They said, hey, I'm saved. This body doesn't really mean anything. I'm going to go to heaven and everything is all good. He says, no, but all things aren't beneficial. They said, all things are lawful for me. He said, I'm not going to be mastered or brought under the power of anything, though. They said, well, food is for the belly and the belly is for food, because they were gluttons as well, right? And God is actually going to destroy both. Now, that's true. Food was made for the belly, right? The belly was made to process food. But what is his response to that? His response to that is, but your body was not made for fornication. You see, your body is actually for the Lord. That's what it's actually for. Do you see that? And I want to make sure you're actually catching what I'm saying. In the same way that your belly is for the purpose of processing food, you're not just given an opportunity to commune with God. You're not just given your body, you are for the purpose of housing God, of communing with God, not to sell yourself off to someone's pleasure. You see? So he says, do you not know? Now, this is how Paul deals with sin everywhere. Do you not know that your bodies are members of Christ? So then I take the bodies of Christ and join them to a prostitute? He says, God forbid. And this is when I had to do some research, because I know from other places, God forbid means that question makes absolutely no logical sense. He's not just saying don't join yourself to a prostitute. He's saying that you can't, and he's about to give the reason why. And whenever I went and I asked ChatGPT that exact question, it says not only is your interpretation fair, but it's theologically correct, it's rhetorically correct, and it's correct according to the Greek text. So this is what he said. He said, don't you know, he who joins himself to a prostitute becomes one body with her, because it says the two will become one flesh. But he who is joined to the Lord is one spirit with him. So now, that word joined to means to glue. Jesus says cleave, right? A man shall leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife. So how can you, who are a member of Christ, who is a member of Christ, who is cleaved to Jesus, how can you then be cleaved to a prostitute? Just like me as a married man, I'm already cleaved to my wife. So if I sleep with someone else, I am not now cleaved to her. I'm now adulterating my own union, right? I'm now sinning against my own union. And that's actually what he is saying. He says, don't you know every other sin is outside of the body, but he who fornicates, misuses, sins, miss the marks for the purpose of his own body. Now, listen, I hope you listen closely, because we can't glorify God with our bodies if we don't understand the purpose of our body. And to glorify means to have a proper weight, to ascribe proper weight, ascribe proper value, have a proper opinion. All right. So if you're just trying to not do something because you think it's bad, then you're never going to actually be able to glorify God, because you don't have the same value, the same opinion. You do not ascribe the same weight as God does to it. So your body is a member of Christ. It says, don't you know that your bodies are the temple of the Holy Spirit? Your bodies were made with the capacity and for the purpose of God dwelling in. And you are not your own. You are bought with a price. You are not your own. You are Christ's members. Just like my finger can't do what it wants, And neither is it supposed to be used for the purpose of going into a light socket or going into some random woman. Well, our bodies are not made for the purpose of going into a prostitute. It's a sin against our body. It's a misuse of our body that was created for the purpose of the Lord, was created for the purpose of being one of Christ's members, was created for the purpose of doing what God created it to do. See, was created for the purpose of the Holy Spirit dwelling in. And now that I have that understanding, I won't just be trying to not sin, trying not to do what I think is normal, trying not to do what it was twisted to make me think is normal. No, my body was not made for the purpose of joining itself to a prostitute. That makes no sense. Would I take my finger and put it in there? I would not. So now why would I take Christ's body and join it to see, but we don't know that we're members of Christ. We think that our bodies are just these things that's going to die one day and our spirits belong to him. But no. Your body and your spirits both belong to him. Your actual bodies are the temple of the Holy Spirit. And that means the Holy of Holies, not just like your body is the outer court and all that nonsense they make up to try to justify their twisted Gnostic thinking. You see that? No, once you understand the reality of the purpose of your body and the goodness that God created for to be a member of Christ, then you can start ascribing proper weight and really glorify God with your body. And now you will not keep sinning against your own body and misuse it for a purpose that it wasn't used for, because this is Christ's vessel. My body is a member of his. And even if I'm a pinky toe, my pinky toe don't go there. This is still Christ's pinky toe, and it's not meant to be used for joining to not joining, for someone else to use this pinky toe that is already cleaved to Jesus. I hope that makes sense. Listen, this is how Paul dealt with the problem. I don't know how your pastor or the ministries that y'all operate with would actually deal with this problem. But these men were going to a temple and sleeping with prostitutes, and they called it normal. They were doing it regularly. Paul said, you don't got nothing. What you have is the Holy Spirit. So you need to stop misusing your body, which is the temple of the Holy Spirit, for that. Do you not know? And until you know, you'll never stop. I don't care how much stuff you get cast out of you. I don't care how much you fast. I don't care how much you pray. Until you can know, which means to perceive accurately the reality of this situation and understand that you're actually Christ's member, understand that you're actually the Holy Spirit's temple, understand that your body is actually for the Lord and that's the purpose that it was created for from the beginning, you'll keep misusing it. Love y'all. I'll see y'all next time.